Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Aniq Syazwan bin Abdul Shukor. My number matric is 1191427. Today I want to present about Individual Intensive Academic Writing Project AAD 3262 Methodology of Islamic Studies. I'm from group KAA1. Okay, my topic is the stature of Sheikh Abdullah Fahim in the spread and the rise of the Islam in Malaya. Okay, introduction. The scholar I want to introduce is a dynamic scholar. By his privilege as a son of Meccan scholar, Abdullah Fahim has taken opportunity to learn various religious science there until the teachers is said reach a total of 50 people. His love of religious knowledge made him one respected scholar in various fields of religion such as Usuluddin, Fiqh, Tasawwuf, Tafsir Al-Quran, Hadith, Falak and knowledge related to Arabic language and literature such as grammar, arud and Qafiyah. While in Mecca, Abdullah Fahim studied with 15 people scholars to enable him to master various disciplines of knowledge. His teachers who Arab include Sheikh Sa'id Babsil, yakni Mufti Mazhab Al-Shafi'i, Sheikh Muhammad bin Sulaiman Hasbullah Al-Makki, Syed Abu Bakri Shatha, yani compiler of the book I'anah Al-Talibin. Okay, the problem statement. Sheikh Abdullah Fahim once appealed to the Malays to hold fast to the spirit of unity of the Ummah and be united in one nation. He also often asked the Malays to stay away from those who issued law that were not in line with the Shafi'i and were out of the Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah. He hoped that any faction or group that disagree on a matter of religious issue to take path of peace and reunite so that small cracks do not become divisions, large and detrimental of the unity of religion and the race. Research questions. What is the role of Sheikh Abdullah Fahim in spreading Islam through politics in Malaya? And the second one is, what are the contribution of Sheikh Abdullah Fahim in spreading Islam in Malaya? And the third one is, what is the challenge that faced by Sheikh Abdullah Fahim in spreading Islam in Malaya? Okay, the biography of Sheikh Abdullah Fahim. Okay, the real name of Sheikh Abdullah Fahim is Tuan Guru Haji Abdullah bin Ibrahim. He was born in Kampung Sya'ab Ali, Makkatul Mukarramah in 1286 after Hijrah. His father was Sheikh Ibrahim bin Tahir, hails from Kubur Panjang, Kedah, and travelled to Mecca to become a Quran teacher in the Grand Mosque. His grandfather, Haji Tahir, is from Patani. Sheikh Abdullah Fahim was raised in Mecca in the atmosphere and religious knowledge and adjacent to many scholars. Sheikh Abdullah Fahim is a smart child and is very interested in any knowledge taught to him. Indeed, the spirit of struggle is so strong that it always exists in him, brought to by Tuan Guru Haji Abdullah Fahim, Sheikh, until he reached Malay and resident in Penang. He was married to a Malay girl who once lived in Mecca. As a result of the life partnership, he was awarded two children, namely Ahmad Ghazali and Ahmad, who later became known in Malaysia by the name of Ahmad Badawi, namely the father of Tun Abdullah, Ahmad Badawi, a national political figure and the former Prime Minister of 5th Minister of Malaysia. Such is a very precious heritage that is being felt by all people in this country as a result of the service and the devotion of Tuan Guru Sheikh Abdullah Fahim. Okay, the role of Sheikh Abdullah Fahim in politics. Haji Abdullah does have a strong Malay spirit and is very sensitive if the Malays are insulted or ridiculed. Therefore, he never left a ceremony when the Malays were insulted. In his consideration, unity among the Malays should not only be nurtured to achieve independence in Malaya alone, but it should be extended to achieve independence and unity between Malaya and Indonesia. This is clearly recorded in his word, Hidup Melayu and Malaya. Merdeka Indonesia dan Malaya sebagai saudara kembar. However, his dream never came true because until now, Indonesia and Malaysia still remain as two separate countries. Sheikh Haji Abdullah Fahim also participate in politics, this entry causing him to later emerge as a prominent and frequent politician, contribute thoughtful and sharp thinking in the field. The role of Sheikh Abdullah Fahim is not limited to the field of Islamic knowledge alone, but also in political field, when he also play a role in blowing a national spirit of the land Malay, with Malay Association Seberang Perai established as forum against the Malaysian Malayan Union. He also incorporated the association he led under the emblem national struggle of the United Malays National Organisation UMNO on May 11, 1946. Okay, the contribution of Sheikh Abdullah Fahim in the spread and the rise of Islam in Malaya. Sheikh Abdullah Fahim is also the founder and the teacher of Da'irat Al-Ma'arif Al-Wataniyah. In 1925, Haji Abdullah returned to his village in Kepala Batas. He settled there and taught on the porch of his house in a general form. After 2 years, this class had to be beautified because the number of students was increasing. In the line with that, Haji Abdullah had established a school called Da'irat Al-Ma'arif Al-Wataniyah. The school building is now located next to the Jami' Badui Mosque, Kepala Batas. In 1931, Haji Abdullah was invited by Sultan Idris, the first Sultan Idris, to teach and become the mudir at Madrasah Idrisiyah, Bukit Candan, Kuala Kangsar, Perak. In fact, he was invited there to replace Sheikh Abdullah Al-Morocco as a religious scholar of Arab descent and a courageous reformist figure. He returned to Penang after he was expelled from Perak for developing his reformist idea. Okay, the challenge that faced by Sheikh Abdullah Fahim in spreading Islam in Malaya. Okay, Sheikh Abdullah Fahim struggled against the colonialists and the quest for national independence. Despite the fact that Sheikh Abdullah Fahim was not in the cutting edge in the group of talking about the plan of freedom with the British, he was an inspiration and reference to the legends of the Independent Federation of Tanah Melayu. His mindfulness in the political field and mission for autonomy started while he was as yet in Mecca. It tends to be found in his sonnet that advanced the battle against the homesteader. The battle for autonomy began when the pioneers, who were the ulama and umara, became mindful of the abuse submitted by British. The Malay soul sought height during the 1940s with the environment of hostile to British vanished incredibly among individuals of Tanah Melayu. Tunku Abdul Rahman expressed that the battle for autonomy was set off by the acknowledgement among the Malays. Moreover, the settlers in the nation were not joined with the Malays. With that, the English government made a term which every one of the three races, yani Malay, Chinese and Indian, should join before they were allowed autonomy. The fundamental just behind it was when individuals focused on was allowed, the English didn't need to mob to happen. Okay, the conclusion. from the research. From the writing that has been held, it is clear that Sheikh Abdullah Fahim is a pious, authoritative and dedicated figure. He not only established an Islamic educational institution, namely Daira al-Ma'arif al-Wataniyah, but also succeed in producing ulama figures, educators, administrators, and also authoritative politicians from among his students. Apart from that, through his educational activities, he has succeeded in reaching out the community and sparking interest in Islamic science as well as the spirit of struggle toward Malaysia's independence. He also proved that all effort and struggle bring result. The society at that time became more familiar with Islam due to his effort, which did not know the meaning of despair. All challenge and obstacle can be overcome calmly and patiently through its activeness as well. The Kepala Batas area has become famous in the religious field. However, his role in party politics was not very prominent, other than setting the date of independence for Malaysia and before opposing the idea of a Malaysian union. Apart of that, his involvement in the political world is also relatively short and is more away from for the involvement of his son Datuk Haji Ahmad Badawi and then his own grandson Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Abdullah Haji Ahmad Badawi, the current Deputy Prime Minister of Malaysia.